did this particular event take place?
A place called Bexhill out of Lismore. Swimming hole across the train crossing and across the road from the shop and down what was a dirt road a couple of kilometres.
What were you doing down there?
Camping.
How many other people were with you?
2. Early evening, just after dark. We were actually in the tent. It was a lean-to tent, which is the old type of tent. They're open at the front. Well, it can be open all around if you've got the sides up, but this particular one was open at the front. It was probably 6 foot high at the front, so you had quite a clear view out of it, out to the front. That's where we saw it. Well, we were doing something in the tent. I can't remember what, sitting on bunks doing something or other, and one of us just saw it. I can't remember who saw it first, but basically it was just standing there at a guess 20-30 metres out from the front of the tent. There was some sort of light behind it. It must have been the moon or something, and you could see it. It was a silhouette of it. You couldn't see any features. Like, it was facing us, so you couldn't see any facial features or anything. That the face that was facing us was dark, and there was sort of you could see the basic outline shape of it silhouetted with you could see sort of hair and matted hair and that sort of thing around it. It would have been on a track. It was in a clearing, but it was a sort of a game trail, I suppose we'd call it that, through that area, and it was around about in that spot, just standing there.
So can you describe it? You actually seemed like you got a reasonable look at it. Did you get an idea of how high it would be?
Yeah, I've thought about that. It's because it wasn't directly in front of us, and there wasn't really anything there to gauge it by, but it was bigger than a man by, I'm 6'3", and it was noticeably bigger than me, so I would say it was. I looked at a door frame the other day, thinking about it as a standard door frame, and its shoulders were around about just wide enough to fit through a door frame, and its head would have been probably a foot too high to fit through a door frame, so it was probably close to 8 feet high, between 7 and 8 feet high. So that's a bit less than 3 foot wide at the shoulders.
Was it the same sort of width right down through the body, or was it sort of wider at the top and narrow?
Pretty hard to say, because its arms were against its body and hanging down by the side of its legs, and you couldn't there wasn't a gap, there wasn't any light shining through between its arms and its body sort of thing. So
but you could actually see the arm outline of arms?
Its hands quite clearly.
Where did the arms come down to? Were they to the waist?
Sort of almost to its knees, quite long, longer than a person. They didn't look right for a person, they were too long.
So you noticed hair on the body?
Oh, yeah, very thick, matted hair. The head didn't sort of, it's hard to tell with the hair on it, but didn't sort of really seem to be up on her neck. It seemed to be just sitting on the shoulders, and its head was more robustly built, sort of, but it was seemed to be sort of more a little bit pointed, if anything, on top. Just slightly. It wasn't rounded.
As you all watched this thing, I guess, what were you saying to each other? Were you sort of...
We were saying nothing. We were just dumbfounded in silence and frozen, more or less.
And how long did you watch it for?
I don't really know, but it seemed like 5 minutes. It was probably less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds.
Then what did it do?
Basically, it just slowly moved off towards us, but at a tangent, the way the game trail went, which led it out of our view. It was in our view for a while as it sort of walked towards the tent, but off on an angle. And so, if anything, it got a bit closer, but we couldn't see it as well because it wasn't silhouetted as well. There was a lot of trees, and I assume it was moonlight that was backlighting the animal, and it was whatever it was, and it didn't sort of was sort of more in the shadows as it came around the side. And then as it went up the side of the tent, it was out of view because of the side of the tent. We couldn't see through it.
Was it actually coming closer to you as it walked towards you? Or
yes, slightly. It wasn't threatening, though, in any way.
What was the reaction of everybody in the tent as it started walking off?
One of the guys picked up a shotgun and fired it through the side of the tent, which was more